Hello Alchemy Divas, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'm sharing what remains of my beautiful big garden and all the flowers that are still in bloom during our now beginning of autumn period. I've added a few pics throughout to share the many facets of my garden and the flowers. The gorgeous mandevillas. They originate from South America and they do not like the cooler Melbourne climate, but I've had her in this west-facing spot, so she absolutely loves that 6-hour afternoon full sun. So these gorgeous zinnias are annuals, darlings, so they don't come back. What I do is plant them by seed. This is the multicolored variety, and they grow up to 1 meter in height. I've got quite a few zinnias all around the premise, some in pots, some in soil in the garden. Back to this gorgeous, gorgeous mandevillas. Now, Melbourne climate is quite cool in temperature to make her happy, so to speak. However, if you can find the warmest west-facing spot in your garden, they will absolutely put out new vines, as I'm holding there, and they will just become so prolific you will absolutely have to control them. How gorgeous! Now she loves that afternoon sun. Beautiful. And because of the fact that she's getting that 6-hour sun in autumn, means that her blooms will just continue, darlings. She will just continue to bloom until there is no more sun and the chill sets in. My gorgeous hibiscus, 10 years old, and once again she gets all the afternoon sun, darlings. Hibiscus is now getting quite popular in perfume and fragrance. I've noticed that in the last 6 to 12 months, darlings. And ever rightly so. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous note about it. Now, this is the variety called Fiji. She can grow up to 20 feet if I let her. But I've got her quite contained around the 4 to 5 feet height. Yes, beautiful, gorgeous. And once again, this is the Fiji variety. Now we're moving on to evening primrose, darlings. So this is evening primrose, darlings. She's a perennial, so she comes back each year. She's medicine. Therefore, I have her far back at the backyard, away from pets or animals. She is that afternoon and evening bloomer, beautiful flower, big flowerings, and she attracts all the night pollinators, the bats and the moths. Oh, my gorgeous sage, my beautiful Santa Barbara sage, darlings. She is an autumn bloomer, as you can see. Hardly any of this greenery will be visible after she's started blooming. She has started, only just. And look at her go. It will be all purple in this specific spot. Now, always create contrast, darlings. In flowers, especially. In the garden, you want that contrast. You want purples next to yellows. And she's doing quite well next to evening primrose. The color combination is just divine. So she is slowly closing in her blooms and starting to prepare for autumn. She is not an autumn girl at all. However, she is doing still quite well in that heated area spot of the garden, and she only blooms at night. So she is actually packing up and about to hibernate throughout the cooler months that we've just started. Look at Santa Barbara, darlings. Beautiful flower. So this goes up to almost a meter, or not a meter, I beg your pardon, a foot. Santa Barbara blooms to up to almost a foot. And here's zinnia again. Multicolored blooms on one stem. Just gorgeous. And there's some chilies from my chili trees. Now, while I was filming this, a lovely butterfly there it is, quickly stopped by and said hello. This is Mandevilla, darlings, from a side view, reaching out. Look at all those flowers reaching up to that afternoon sun, all the last bits of it. How gorgeous. As we've come to the conclusion and the end of this video, darlings, I wanted to show you my pretty girl, my bougainvillea. And this is the crimson variety. I've managed to keep her contained, darlings, because as we all know, bougainvilleas can take over a 10-level building, right? Now, she's having her second bout of blooms happening, so I'm just going to let her do her thing. And I would say, as I've given her a trim 3 weeks ago, she's put out some last blooms for the season. I would say between 5 to 7 days it will be once again in full bloom, pushing out some more color. If you love this video, darlings, give it a like, subscribe, write down in the comments what you're planning to plant or sow for your coming spring. We're headed into autumn, darlings, and that wind is rather gusty. It's all been videoed and filmed within half an hour, so the weather did indeed change. If you love this video, once again, like, subscribe, tell me what you're about to plant, and I'll see you all on the next video. Until then, bye.